Makiko Ishihara. Okay, now we just finished talking about our weekend. Everybody talked about it in the past tense, which was really nice. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, this audiovisual book, Bear's Loose Tooth, was written in the past tense. Author used the past tense. Anyway, now today we are going to continue about the tense, past, present, but we're going to add new thing, future. Future. And also we will be talking about the name of the word, for instance, noun, verb, and we're going to add a new group called adverbs. Adverbs. We talked about the noun before already, right? The noun is something, a person or animal or a thing. By itself, it doesn't make any sense. If the nouns, just if the book is full of nouns, how do you read it? Where does the story go? You have to have something. So it's the verb that helps the noun to do something. That's why the bear has lots of verbs, and animals have lots of verbs. That's how Comma Wilson used to move the story. For instance, a bear gulped and he gobbled. They're all past tense, right? And something wiggled and it wobbled. Bear frowned and he worried. Yeah, those are the verbs that she used with the noun bear. Now let's look at the verb chart that I showed you before, briefly last week. There is some pattern. Anybody notice something from this chart? I'm using the verb walk as an example. So the present tense is in the middle. I walk, you walk, we walk, they walk. We talked about this third person singular, which is the bottom half of the present. John walks, Bear walks, Mom walks, my pet dog walks, everybody walks. So that's the present. And what do you notice? What about the past? Okay, Daniele, what did you notice? Walk, the verb walk had all EDs. Walked. I walked, you walked. We walked, they walked. My parents walked. John walked, Bear walked. Mom walked, my pet dog walked. Everybody walked. Yesterday, that's something happened yesterday. That's why it's the past tense, okay? Now look at the future on the right column. What do you notice? Mohammed? Right. They all have a new word called will, W-I-L-L. Now check from the top to the bottom. Is there a third person singular? Is there any S anywhere? No. You don't have to worry about the third person singular at all. Third person singular applies only for the present tense, right? So it's a he, she, it, anything other than I, you, we, they, any plurals. This is the regular verb. Now, you know how many verbs we have in the English language? Surprisingly, a lot. They say 35,000 to 100,000. Isn't that incredible? But the good news is most of them are the past tense form is this. you add ed or d's. So it's very easy to know the past tense. Of course, future is easy. All you have to do is add will. Okay, let's do some practice of the past and the future. I will give you a sentence and I want you to change it to, I will read in the past and I want you to make it into future. Yoshiko? I played in the park yesterday. Now make it into future. Make sure you use will. I will play in the park tomorrow. Right? Because it's future. You're not there yet. Okay? Now, Mohammed. A wren fluttered in yesterday. Remember from the book? A wren is a small bird. A wren fluttered in yesterday. Now the future. A wren will flutter in tomorrow. That's it. Now, another chart I want you to see again on a screen. This looks similar, but slightly different. Can you tell what's different from the previous one? Anybody? Kenji. I use the verb see. I see, you see, we see, they see, my parents see. What about future? Under will. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Is there any change? No. Third person singular is still there with S after the verb, but will is the same. What about the past? Can you check the past? Ooh, there isn't any ed or d at the end of the verb. See is now totally changed into something else. It's saw, S-A-W. I saw the moon yesterday. You saw the moon yesterday. We saw the moon yesterday. They saw the moon yesterday. My parents saw the moon yesterday. So it's the past. It's totally different from see. Irregular verbs are about 200. So if you learn 20 this week, you have only 180 left for the rest of your life. That's pretty easy, right? Okay. Now, the easiest way to learn is to through the sound of the verb. Okay. For instance, see is the see, saw, seen. The third one, seen, you don't have to worry about it, but I want to include it so that you will get used to the sound of it. The third one is called past participle. You will need them later on, but why not learn it now? We don't use it, but just as a sound, I want you to know the sound and master the sound of it. So when it comes to actually use it, it just comes out naturally from your brain. Okay? Repeat after me. See, saw, seen. Go, went, gone. Do, did, done. Take, took, taken. Speak, spoke, spoken. Drive, drove, driven. Write, wrote, written. So far, so good. Sleep, slept, slept. Very good. Win, won, won. Cut, cut, cut. Don't laugh. That's the way it is. English is strange. This word cut doesn't change. Isn't that nice? Cut, cut, cut. There's also put, put, put.